Hello and welcome all to the 19th part of the series on self-exploration, part 2 of Die Empty. We continue our discussion from the last part. For those who have landed directly on this part, kindly find the link for the earlier part in the description box below. Joining the dots, contemplating, comprehending and sharing it with you all raw. All that sounds great is the grace of all those who have blessed me, and all that sounds not so great is my limitation. So let us continue. Dying empty. Emptying yourself before you die. Another probing small book I brushed across through one of my senior friends. 1 hour before death asks the author, what would I like to do if someone tells me you're going to die in an hour? Such a traumatic situation. Probably we may want to do so many things. Or the other way around, we may just get frozen. Just like if a lion comes and stands in front of us, we will freeze on that spot, not knowing what to do. So 1 hour could be a very short time. What can one do in 1 hour? On a notice of 1 hour. The first thought that may come to our practical and logical mind is that, have I sorted out my properties? Have I written my will correctly? Then the material side of life has been taken care of. But is that what is going to come with me after I die? Not in the least bit. There is a Sanskrit subhashit that tells us who comes with us, how long. It goes like this. Dhanani bhumau pashavascha goshte. Dhanani bhumau pashavascha goshte dara gruhadvare janasmashane. Dehashchitayam paralokamarge karmad go bandini jiva ekaha. Dhanani bhumau, wealth accompanies us only till the underground treasure. Dhanani bhumau, treasures were dug underground. They stay there when you die. So it is with us in the soil, in the ground underneath our house. Pashavascha goshte, our cattle in the backyard. Dara gruhadvare. In our Eastern customs, the wife accompanies only till the doorstep. She is not allowed to come in the crematorium. Janasmashane. Who comes till the crematorium? Your closed ones, your relatives. They will come and put you on the pyre. They will accompany you only till there. And what about your body? Dehashchitayam. Your body will accompany you only till the pyre. At the pyre, the body will get burnt off. So, who joins us on our way to eternity? Dehashchitayam paralokamarge karmanugo bandini jiva eka. All that comes with us are our deeds, the baggage, the package of our deeds. And we are talking of dying empty. Such a difficult thought, such a difficult challenge. All that comes with me is my eternal understanding, is the baggage of my karmas. So 1 hour before I die, oh my God, what and how much can I actually do? Can I correct the mistakes that I have done in my life? No. Can I bag a lot of goodwill in 1 hour? Yeah, maybe a few donations, a few checks if you have a lot of estate. Some charity, you may sign a few checks and pick up some goodwill external package, nothing more than that. 1 hour is too very short to correct courses, the blunders that we have done through our lives. At the most, if that hour is going to open our eyes to some mistakes that we may now want to admit, which we haven't admitted through our lives. We may ask for a pardon, a mercy, an excuse, actually by interacting with a few people if possible, or with our deep heart. That can be done. Nothing too much. 1 hour is too short. 1 hour, is it too short? If I have lived my life consciously, if I have lived my life consciously every moment, no personal wish that has left unfulfilled, I have fulfilled my wishes. Nothing remains to be conveyed to anyone specially. I have already conveyed my sorries and thank yous on spot to every person, with the understanding that every minute could have been the last minute of my life. What guarantee that I will be there tomorrow morning living to say sorry or thank you to somebody? Say it right across, if I have consciously said that. If I have always given my love and peace message to every person around me, however he has behaved, I have always passed love, understanding, it's okay kind of a vibe to that person. I hold no grudge, no grievance for anyone around me. If I have done to the best of my capacity, maturity and understanding of my being at the given time, we have explored this thought in one of our earlier videos, that if I have behaved the best of that time, I need not have any regret about it later. If I have lived by every moment most genuinely for that moment, with my maximum capacity, if I have pushed my limits every minute, if I have lived without manipulating for every person around me, conscience clear, all debts cleared, 1 hour becomes a big time. It becomes a big time because there is nothing left to be done. I am contented, I am full, I am ready to quit any moment. A shorter notice than 1 hour, 2 would be just fine. So I am ready to leave any moment. My bags are packed, my heart is clear, and it is full of love. Till then, till my train arrives, all I seek is bridges, no walls with my beloveds, and for that matter, everyone around me. I love to stay connected. I love to communicate, give and take well wishes, love, help. I wish to keep learning from my role models till my last breath. That will be my baggage for my coming lives, for my life after this life. I will keep doing to the best of my capacity at the given time. Whatever I can't will be the limitation of this constitution. Every constitution has its own limits on every front. Limits of body, limits of mind, limits of perseverance, limits of sustaining endurance. So I will keep giving to the best of my limitation at that point. If I am a 5 kg bag, I should never feel guilty why I can't carry 6 kg. That is just not my constitution. I wish to keep spreading love and peace message for every person around me. So whoever meets me, wherever and whenever again, we always meet on a positive note, on a love note. Not with a distance, not with a discord. We meet with harmony. This will be 1 hour before death. This will be 1 hour before death, or 1 minute before death, till death comes. This we need to do every moment of our conscious life, not just 1 hour. The mystic says the time between life and death is much shorter than the time between death and next life. So if we prepare for a life so much, how much we prepare for a life? Full life we are preparing for a life only. For a better living, for better food, for better surroundings. So if we prepare for our life so much, we must prepare ourselves for death much more seriously throughout our lives, because after death is going to come a longer patch before we enter another life. So if we need to prepare ourselves for the last hour throughout our lives, how far do we have to prepare for the moment after life? For the life after life? What is death? Is that just the end of this body? I feel death is the point of transcendence. We are given this material or the tool called body and some time to learn. That is our life. Death can be an entry point to the next standard if we pass the test of this life. Just like in school, for every year we are given a curriculum and the time of 1 year to master it. If we master it well, we enter the next standard on a red carpet. If not, we fail and repeat. So if we have used the time called life to learn the syllabus that has been assigned for this time, if we do the syllabus well, life is a journey to transcendence and death is the point of entry to the next standard. We are standing on the cliff of a mountain for paragliding. The moment we leave our contact with the mountain, we are just standing on the tip of the mountain with minimum contact with the mountain. And when we leave the contact with the mountain, if we take a flight, we go towards the sky. But if we fail to take the flight, we will fall on the ground miserably. So, The training for paragliding is the performance at that point of leaving your contact with the mountain. So the training of life is the performance at death of leaving the contact with the life, of becoming the beige, of roasting the seeds and not coming back, transcending. Like in one of our earlier discussions, we talked of Jonathan the seagull transcending. We need to take training to fly throughout our lives, and we need to stay alert in the last moment to take off. On a two-dimensional paper, a third dimension can never be actually drawn. A common experience in our 3D pictures, we imagine a line coming out or line going inside the paper, or we draw it using a dotted line so that the viewer imagines. It has to be imagined, but it is not true. We can see a three-dimensional pot. It may look like a three-dimensional pot on the paper, but we may not be able to fill water in that pot because it is not three-dimensional. We can just imagine a third dimension on the two-dimensional paper. Similarly, in this material world of three dimensions, the world we are living in is a three-dimensional world. And this transcendence we are talking about is the fourth dimension. It is of true bliss, and it can only be imagined as long as we are in this three-dimensional world. On the point of takeoff, when we just lose our contact with this three-dimensional world, we may be able to enter the fourth dimension. In this three-dimension, we can only imagine it, never experience. So death is the takeoff point, an opportunity to go from this 3D perception to the 4D perception. Whenever the time comes to leave this body, if my sense of me is attached to the body, which is matter, if I feel I am the body, I will fall towards the matter, the jada, towards the earth, towards ignorance, towards repetition. That means my seeds are not roasted correctly. But if I tag my sense of me to the immense source of energy that lies within, that is my contact point of the fourth dimension, I may take a flight, I may enter the fourth dimension. It will be a flight of bliss, it will be a flight of knowledge. Knowledge that emerges from within. We need to train ourselves throughout our lives for that moment. It is not just about the goodness and niceness, it is something much beyond that needs to be achieved staying in this body. And we need to stay alert at that moment when we leave the body and tag our meanness to the spirit, to the sublime, and not to the material. And this not only just 1 hour before we die, but every moment from now onwards, if we reside our conscience in that pool of energy, somewhere there is a probability that it may materialize in that last moment of your life. I wish to live with and love that source of energy into which I wish to merge once this body falls. The Die Empty book asks, what do I wish? This is what I wish. Whom will I call in the last hour? If at all I will call anyone in the last hour, it will be that supreme power, that energy to come and take the charge of my being, and I submerge, I dissolve in it. I offer my obeisance to it for being so kind, for going so much out of the way and granting me my wishes, coming in my life in so many divine forms and giving me a hand of help and catapulting me towards that energy. I have gratitude and only gratitude that fills my heart up to the brim. 1 hour before I die, or every hour before I die from now onwards. If that is the level of fullness, what am I waiting for then? What am I waiting here for then? Waiting for the right time maybe, which the power knows better than me. Enjoying every moment of the present, giving the best to it, and ready to pack up any time, and with no wishes remaining, with all the seeds roasted, there may not be any reason to come back. On a very different note, as long as I feel I have a lot of goodness, lot of ideas, lot to give that will go waste if I die without spilling that. I will never die as the I in me is still alive. When that I dies, whatever is being done through me is not what I am doing. So that someone who is getting things done through me has to bother about the goodness, ideas, potential stored in me. If he wants to use it, let him use. I am just an instrument. A laptop is full of internet as such, isn't it? But the user explores its potential, or it just keeps it in a corner or scraps it. So what? The laptop is dead. The user is alive. So the laptop is empty. Even if I am full of information, if I am the laptop, if I am the instrument, I am empty. So we can be an instrument and feel empty every moment. I will not need to die separately. We will explore and exploit a very different version of this same thought with the help of a Marathi song. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining.